When you think of a Jewish homeland, your mind probably goes straight to Israel. However, the first modern state of Israel was actually created in the Soviet Union, and not in the Middle East, but in the middle of Siberia. In the early days of the Soviet Union, Stalin and his government promoted national homelands for different ethnic groups, hoping to prevent separatism while keeping everyone loyal to the communist system. For Jews who were scattered across the nation, the Soviets offered an alternative to Zionism, a state where Jews could live together, speak Yiddish, and practice their culture without religion. And so in 1928, Stalin designated a remote piece of land near China in the Russian Far East as the official Jewish autonomous oblast, with its capital in Birobidzhan. The goal was a Soviet-style Jewish homeland free from the opium of religion. The Soviet government launched a massive propaganda campaign encouraging Jews to move to Birobidzhan. Posters showed happy Jewish farmers, slogans promised prosperity, and the Soviets even promoted it as a new Zion. But when Jewish settlers arrived, they were met with a nightmare. Birobidzhan was an isolated, swampy, freezing wasteland. The land was nearly impossible to farm, infrastructure was non-existent, and settlers had no experience surviving in such conditions. Malaria, hunger, and exhaustion quickly took their toll. By 1939, only about 17,000 Jews had moved there, making up less than 25% of the population. And then Stalin's paranoia made things even worse. By the late 1930s, Stalin's Great Purge was in full swing, and Jews became one of his main targets. The very leaders who had helped create the Jewish homeland were accused of being Zionist spies, and many were arrested, exiled, or executed. During and after the Second World War, Birobidzhan saw brief interest again as Jewish refugees from Nazi-occupied Europe fled to the Soviet Union. But after Stalin's anti-Semitic campaigns in the late 1940s and early 1950s, any hopes of a Jewish homeland in Siberia vanished. By 1959, Jews made up only 9% of region's population, and today it's less than 1%. In case you're wondering why did the Jewish Autonomous Oblast fail, then you should know that it was never really about helping Jews. It was a political experiment, a way for Stalin to control Jewish culture, prevent Zionism, and use settlers as human shields on the Soviet-Chinese border. Today, the Jewish Autonomous Oblast still exists, but its Jewish population is almost non-existent. Meanwhile, the actual Jewish homeland, Israel, has flourished.